The United States Post Office has been in the news recently. You would think something as mundane as delivering the mail can have huge political effects. In this video, we're going to look at how the United States Post Office makes money, why they are in the news recently, and how President Donald Trump is using the post office for his political game in the upcoming election. Before we begin, like and subscribe to support the channel. Over the years, the United States Postal Service, or the USPS for short, has been losing money. They can still run while losing money though, because the government subsidizes a majority of the mail service. Although they don't get any direct federal money, they still get subsidiaries in the form of favorable borrowing rates and having restriction on other companies regarding first-class mail. The USPS lost money 13 years in a row and loses around $2.7 billion a year. The post office was designed to be self-sufficient and not rely on taxpayer money and government subsidiaries. They should be able to cover its operating expenses by charging postage. This has obviously not been the case recently, as they continue to lose money year over year. Sorting and transporting mail is costly. The USPS delivers mail to 157 million addresses and post office boxes around the nation, Puerto Rico, and the American Virgin Islands. It has over 200,000 trucks and other vehicles to help haul all that mail. They also run a massive retail operation in the form of 31,000 post offices and another 4,000 contract-run mail shops, each with their own overhead costs. With such a big operation and all this mail being processed, you would think they would be able to keep up with their operating costs. So what is causing them from losing so much money? According to President Trump, a major reason they are losing money is because of Amazon. He states the United States Post Office, which is losing many billions of dollars a year while charging Amazon and others so little to deliver their packages, making Amazon richer and the post office dumber and poorer, should be charging much more. Is this actually true though? Is Amazon bankrupting the United States Postal Service, or are there other factors at play? The USPS has limited control on how they run their business and how it can control overhead. In a normal company, if they are not meeting operating expenses, you would start to make cuts to bring overhead down to where you can start making money. The USPS, however, has strict laws and political pressures it has to abide by. By law, the vast majority of USPS positions are held by unionized federal employees who have a lot of job protection. One cost-cutting measure the USPS was trying to implement was having drop-off counters at Staples. This would cut out the need for so many employees, as they would offload some of the drop-offs to Staples. Staples also wins in this situation, as it gets people into their stores. Staples employees are also not unionized and make less and have less benefits than a USPS worker. However, this cost-cutting initiative was struck down by the National Labor Relations Board because it means that Staples employees would be replacing USPS employees. Another big cost for USPS is their pension program, which has over 600,000 employees who are retired. The compensation cost for their pension and health plans rose $2 billion since 2015. Mail volume for the post office is also decreasing, which means that they are making less money. A decade ago, they have $75 billion in revenue from mail. Last year, they slid to less than $70 billion in revenue from mail. The peak in mail volume was back in 2006, with over 200 billion pieces of mail being delivered. Now it is under 150 billion pieces of mail being delivered per year. Mail is the post office moneymaker, but mail volume has been decreasing as people are communicating electronically. There is no real need to send mail anymore, and this trend is only going to get worse as we rely on mail less and less. Parcels, on the other hand, has increased. As online shopping has become more popular, shipping packages has been steadily increasing. Shipping packages accounted for 28% of the post office total revenue last year. Packages are, however, a lot more expensive to ship than regular mail, as it is heavier and takes up more space. If you compare the prices USPS is charging compared to UPS and FedEx, it is a fraction cheaper to ship through the post office. This is because if UPS and FedEx run at a loss, they will go bankrupt while the post office can fall back on the federal government to keep them afloat. There's no way the post office can make as much money from delivering packages as it does with delivering mail with such cheap prices. Add to all this the fact that the USPS reports that its parcel income stream may take a hit. Its largest shipping customers are building the capacity which would enable them to divert volume away from the Postal Service over time. Basically, Amazon is building out its own shipping network and soon won't need the post office at all. So with all these problems already occurring with the post office, it has become into question if they are capable of handling mail-in voting en masse. Since the lockdowns are still in effect, in many cities, many people are turning to mail-in voting. The president has capitalized on this and appointed a new Postmaster General, Louis DeJoy, to run the USPS. DeJoy is implementing new cost-cutting measures, such as leaving mail behind if it delays carriers from their routes, and prohibiting employees from working overtime. They also announced a hiring freeze and are planning to seek early retirements for non-union employees. This would decrease the amount of employees the UPS has overall. All these cost-cutting measures, however, are delaying the mail. This becomes a huge issue, though, as many people are relying on mail to get their votes in on the upcoming election. Trump also stated that he opposes providing additional funding to the USPS. The USPS has now warned that the mail ballots in 46 states and Washington, D.C. might not be delivered on time for the election. Trump is really fighting for no mail-in voting or making it as difficult as possible for mail-in voting because many Democrats are telling people to mail in their votes since a majority of their supporters live in major cities which are crowded and can't gather to vote in person, while Republicans are telling people to go vote in person. This could cause major issues on election night, however. It might seem like Republicans have a big lead since mail-in ballots take longer to count than in-person ballots. We could see a situation in which it looks like Trump has won re-election, but a few days later it actually comes out that he didn't win because mail-in ballots were delayed. This is going to be a messy election with a lot of misinformation being thrown around, but we will have to wait to see what happens on November 3rd. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe to see more videos.